Hello, my name is Christian and I am the Dungeon Master for the Strings of Fate, and thank you for tuning in to the newest arc, Moonlighters. I wanted to hop in here real quick and say that if this is your first episode of Soft Pod, or if you're not caught up and you want to jump in and just start watching the new season right now, absolutely, feel free to. We're working on making this an entry point into the series, not to say that anything that happened before this isn't canon or won't come up, but more so that it's not going to be referenced so explicitly, at least not at the very beginning. If you'd like to start watching from here and then just catch up in between broadcasts, that's perfectly fine. I think that is a great way to watch the show. I'm going to try not to mention the major twists and turns of Wheldon, as I still want people to experience those, but of course there are some spoilers that will occur just by association, by the NPCs that are with us, by the conversations they have, and then their relation to the characters. There's going to be some spoilers, don't get me wrong, but if you're okay with that, then press on. We just believe that there's no wrong way to watch the show, and so if you want to jump into live chat so that you can have fun immediately with everybody and experience the new episode as it comes out, and then go all the way back and catch up in your meantime while you're craving Soft Pod, then go for it, please. Anyways, that's enough of my rambling. On with the show.
Keep low. We've got one awake by the campfire. Roger that. Y'all get ready to fire if things go south. We open up to a forest of tall pines, right off the side of a once well-trodden path. The moon's pale glow obfuscated slightly through the canopy. Even with oncoming summer, the air this night still has a bit of a chill. The woman sat at the edge of the smoldering campfire can feel it quite well. Between the wind and the rustling of leaves, there's just enough cover for those lurking in the surrounding darkness. How many we got in the tents? I think a good few. We'll try and get them as hostages. They should be fast asleep. Gotcha. Y'all head around to do that, and I'll get my spiel started. This young and upcoming bandit has accrued quite a bounty for himself for a number of robberies, and his next quarry looks to be a textbook job. He stands from his position, crooked smile on his face, and his gun drawn at the hip. As he makes his way out of the underbrush. Now, no sudden moves or sounds, lest my friends start firing. Sorry to bother you on such a nice night, but these parts really ain't safe to be camping so leisurely in. At least, not without paying a bit of a protection toll. He smiles at the elven woman sat in front of him, looking up in what he interprets as fear in the face of such a formidable outlaw. Now, little lady, could I get a name? I find it quite rude to rob without proper introduction.
Oh, that's so funny.
Michelle, if you'd like to introduce yourself and give me a brief description of your character.
Hello, my name is Michelle. I play Ladara. She is a 5'6", 21-year-old wood elf. She's a level 12 assassin rogue with medium-length white hair and some like gray-blue skin, just wearing some random clothes, nothing crazy.
as you're sat there at the edge of the fire, your watch basically just starting, already coming out of the brush, you see a very cocky figure, gun drawn, pointed at you, and seems to be robbing you.
This is amusing. Wow, they literally just went to bed already. Something. Okay. Alright. Do you need something?
Sorry, I don't really see what's so amusing about this, but, well, I applaud you for your bravery.
Thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
I guess I didn't make myself clear enough. I'm absolutely robbing you right now. And I wouldn't try any funny business, no yelling. By now, my friends are already in those tents back there with guns pointed at whatever friends you got in there. So.
Well, see, I got that part. Like, I got the first part. I figured that. I'm just telling you that I don't care. You're ruining my night a little bit, and I honestly just really didn't want to deal with anyone tonight. And she kind of stands up.
He stumbles backward as you stand up, as he's kind of like now got his gun, instead of leisurely at his side, is now just straight up, just pointed out at you.
I just walk up to him.
He has to like shorten his arm length as you're getting closer with he's got the guys like, oh, whoa.
This is the saddest robbery I've ever seen.
Do you know what this is? I mean, maybe you haven't seen this.
Yeah, I have one right here, actually.
Put that down.
Yeah, I'm not gonna shoot it. I don't need to.
Reholster your gun.
First of all, what you're not gonna call me is little lady. And second of all, it's very bold of you to come into my camp trying to rob us. First of all, of what? I don't even know what you possibly could take from us.
Money mostly.
Everything.
We literally don't have anything. I don't even think we have our money with us. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah. So we're gonna have to take a rain check, or I could just end this right here, actually.
Make an intimidation check with advantage, please, if you would.
Okay. Well, 20.
He stumbles backward. His smile is gone for a second on his face before he tries and brings it back, though it's a lot shakier this time. It's just, I don't think you know who you're dealing with here, okay? I mean, you must have seen my wanted posters around towns, right? Right?
Sure.
Oh, his ego.
All right. I'm getting a little tired of this.
Honestly, me too.
As this escalation is slowly happening outside, we are going to cut into one of the tents. The camera kind of flies past this confrontation at the campfire, and there are two tents set out currently next to a wagon and a few horses that are resting. We zoom in to one of these tents as two gunmen from the forest surrounding split off, one to each side, basically. One of them giving a nod before poking the barrel of a revolver into the tent's flap and pulling it aside. Taken off guard by the fact that one person out of the two in here is still awake as he sees a tiefling over another human man who is resting with what looks to be like a wet cloth over his forehead. Chris, if you could go ahead and introduce yourself and describe your character.
Oh, absolutely. Hi, my name is Chris. I play Vincent. He's a green tiefling. He's about 6 feet tall. Brown curly hair, about shoulder length. red eyes, kind of thin, kind of gangly. He's also a College of Whispers bard. And he is just wearing his night clothes.
You're in your night clothes. You're looking over another member of your party right now, which we'll get into in a second. But as you are up a bit late, a bit worried, there is something that kind of breaks you from your own thoughts. It kind of takes a second, which is surprising to the gunman as he goes, hey.
What the fuck are you doing? Who are you?
Do you not see the gun? I'm
No,
robbing.
I see it.
What?
I'm robbing the wrong people.
Well, then don't.
Get out of here.
What?
What is wrong with you? Do you want to die?
Do you want to die? I'm the one with the gun.
I'm going to cast heat metal on the gun.
The gun metal just goes red iron hot, and it says, "Ah, fuck!" He tries to pick it up off the ground immediately.
No. Get out.
No. He tries to pull out a dagger as it's getting caught on the leather straps. As he's, are you not scared? You could die any moment now. If I had thought
I
to...
think that you should be more concerned about you dying. Get out. Now.
Intimidation check. Advantage.
My eyes turn black
so
with
scary.
thaumaturgy.
It's scary.
Scary. We're so scary.
That's a good roll.
Spooky skeleton. We're evil.
That's a 21.
He just starts to back up as he's... Can I have my comeback at least?
No!
As he starts to back up. Across the way, the other tent. The other gunman hasn't noticed his compatriot being forced backwards, and then the rising escalation at the front. He's still got the reassurance that there are 3 others behind his boss, hidden in the underbrush, ready to fire on this camp. As he pulls open the tent flaps himself, he immediately is just fully surprised by what he sees. He feels heat rising in his cheeks as to keep things PG.
Oh boy.
2 figures who seem to have fallen asleep, tangled with each other.
Yeah.
One of them a very handsome sun elf of a tall stature, and the other an equally handsome Adjnor.
In the tent, guys! In the tent!
Lydia's like, Jesus Christ.
Kayla, if you'd like to describe your character and introduce yourself, please.
Hi everyone, my name is Kayla. I play Azurum. Azurum is a 23-year-old Adjnor. Azurum is a Hexblade warlock. He's about 5'10", blue skin. Because it is summer, his hair has turned to become predominantly white with blue at the roots.
Wow.
And he's wearing nothing.
That is right. You, opposed to your 2 other party members that are out and facing this threat, wide awake, you are out. You and your companion are both fast asleep, though there is a gasp from the gunman who enters the tent, who shields his eyes, and you find yourself roused from your sleep a little bit by it as you kind of blink to see a man with a gun, like, blushing and staring down at you 2.
Azurum, wakes up a little bit, opens his eyes, hair mess everywhere, white hair everywhere, and he, kind of rubs his eyes and is like, it's not a free show. What the fuck are you?
This is a robbery?
Hey, don't fucking look at my boyfriend like that. You want to die?
No. Do you want to? What? I wasn't looking. Do you want to die?
Excuse me? And Azaram stands up and like wraps a sheet around his waist.
This is not what I came here for. I'm robbing you.
Hey, listen here. This is my special night. Okay? Because pretty soon, my partner is going to have to leave, and I'm not in the mood to have one of our very few nights together be ruined by some fuckery, okay? So you can get the fuck out of my tent.
Make intimidation check. The advantage.
We're all scared.
Not a single shot has been fired. This is the funniest robbery I've ever seen.
19.
He is standing still, but is kind of backing up, but still has his gun trained on you, just trying to get a little bit of distance from you. We'll cut back around to Ladara, who you're hearing slight commotion behind you, and turning your head to go see what's happening. There's like a retraining of the gun. It's like, nope, no. Listen, you don't understand the situation you're in.
Oh, I think I do.
Right? You're facing off against a name that maybe you don't know. I'll check, though.
What's your name?
Billy Ironsides? Anything? 30 gold bounty.
Billy? 30 gold?
30? Wait. Did you say?
30 gold bounty in these parts.
Oh.
Several robberies. Successful.
Gold.
This is so sad.
I feel bad.
Poor guy. If I say yes, it will make you feel better.
Listen. I've got 3 people behind me. Guns trained. And we will just start firing if you... There's a bit of rustling from the trees behind good old Billy Ironsides. And a quick like a thud to the ground before you hear just what? Who the? Before you hear
Nice.
as Billy kind of turns around and looks, getting distracted for a second just by the sounds. As you weren't taking this watch alone. From out of the brush, 3 unconscious gunmen just hit the ground, rolling, and stepping out into the clearing. Another Air Genasi, quarterstaff in hand, a little bit of blood at the tip of it.
Where is he putting that thing?
He looks and says, "You got everything handled here, Ladara?"
Oh, yeah. Everything's fine. Nothing crazy. Just a robbery.
Cool. I'll keep an eye on these guys.
Cool, thank you.
Auda takes his staff and just kind of into the back of one of the unconscious people, and then just kind of leans on it. Says, "Don't mind me. Just getting ready for a show."
As he gets distracted and turns to look away, Ladar will snatch, with one hand, snatch the gun and then grab his neck with the other hand.
Ooh.
Sleight of hand check. I'll give you advantage because of your intimidation check from earlier.
Come on.
Hot. 22.
Natural 1.
Ooh.
Yeah. Good old Billy Ironsides and his crew of bandits.
Oh.
His perfect plan. As soon as he turns to look and sees Auda just take out 3 of his people in one fell swoop, there is the absence of a gun in his hand, and then claws against his throat as he turns his...
You see, I don't think you realize how many people I've killed. And I don't do it lightly, of course. I'm not evil. However, when you bother me enough, I'll do just about anything.
We didn't mean anything by it. At that point, you hear one of them screaming, running off into the forest from Vincent's tent, and the other one saying, "I wasn't looking!" As he's kind of backing up, as Azram's walking out, wrapped only in a sheet.
Naked.
While the other one's pointing a gun. I see now that I may have miscalculated. The
distance between our proficiencies. If you could let good old Billy Ironsides go, I promise that you will not face any more interruption from us.
Oh, but I could gain 30 gold. And that's so exciting. You guys, what do you guys think about 30 gold?
30 gold? 30?
30?
Yeah, this guy's worth 30.
That's a lot of money to some people, to
It
me
is.
at least.
It's a lot of money.
I'll give you 30 gold right now.
What?
Crawled out of the tent.
Really?
Like,
No, not really.
Okay, yeah, me. Okay.
I should charge you 30 gold for your little fucking friend coming into my fucking tent!
This was not part of the plan, Billy. No, it certainly was not. You know, I don't have 30 gold on me right now. So I think I left it at home for another pair of pants. But if you could just let us go, we were just messing.
oh, come on, Ladara, this is pathetic. This is sad. You should just let him go.
All right. If you say so. And I let go.
Let's go. Come on. You, come on. Jerry, let's go.
I look at them and I'm like, should I shoot him in the back? I think it'd be kind of fun.
I don't know.
I don't care, I'm going back to bed.
Anna?
I'm just looking at so. Technically, no, but it would be something. We'll see if he comes back. Then,
All right, yeah, I'll save it.
Good old Billy Ironside scoops up 3 of his unconscious people and starts dragging them into the forest. Actually, let me see if he would have done that. Okay, yeah, he's still in a good state of mind to at least help his friends out, but the rest of them are gone as the camp starts to rouse from rest.
Billy Ironside. I've never heard of him before.
He really thought that I would know him, but I unfortunately didn't.
Honestly, that's just embarrassing.
You hear a yawn coming from your tent, Azram. What is going on out there? Is everything all right?
I think what was it, robbed? We almost got robbed.
Yeah, we almost got robbed.
What?
But they had the audacity to come into my tent.
You should put some clothes on.
No.
It's into our tent? How did I not? What?
Oh, I almost killed them for it
Is
too.
Deville coming out of the tent?
Yeah, out of the tent.
Is he clothed?
You hear this rustling from inside, and then in like a nice like sleeping robe that's still a little short on Deville. Deville Starsong, a very handsome sun elf, divine sorcerer, steps out of the tent and says, "Why didn't anyone wake me up if we were being robbed? I mean, did we figure it out?"
Yeah, it wasn't that big of a deal, honestly. Some guy named Billy?
I don't know.
Billy?
Yeah.
What? He told you his name?
He said he was worth 30 gold.
I pretended like I knew him so that he would feel better.
I mean, 30 gold to some people is a lot, but
No,
but
it is. It is.
It's, but also for bounty.
Right, yeah. I'm gonna go back to bed.
Yeah, that's
night.
alright, yeah.
Ladar, can you do your job, please?
Alright.
You too, Alana. What, aren't you guys supposed to be on watch right now?
Anna actually killed like 3 people. So
And you killed none.
Wait, you killed them?
No, I hit them hard enough to knock them out. I didn't kill
damn.
them. I did see them coming, but I thought that we could handle it. You know, I didn't want it to turn into a big shootout. We've had a couple of those now traveling, and I just thought maybe a nice night would be in order. And it worked, right?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't like actually that dangerous. I wasn't really scared for any of our lives.
They
so-
saw me in my state of undress.
Well, that sounds like
They
a you
didn't mean-
problem.
Probably. I had to guess. Well, at least no one's hurt, right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Well, I hope they like the show, but it's okay. I need to wake up soon anyways to administer another healing spell for Renee, so I'll do this and then we'll go back to sleep, but come on, Vincent. As you all get back into your positions, back to watches, back to getting ready for bed, it's still like the middle of the night, like early morning, probably like 3-4 a.m. at this point.
Vincent, your tent is opened up, and that brief distraction carried you away from what your responsibility has been for the past few days of traveling, as you see lying in a cot on the floor of the tent the kind of weak breaths, the sweat stuck to the forehead, with the wet cloth over form of the once radiant Renair, as he seems to be going through the motions of a poison that he was afflicted with a few fights ago. As he's
He's not getting any better.
and it's not going to change until we get to Lunastra. There's only so much that I can do. I think he should be fine. I don't think he's dying, but his body's just not in a good state.
I hate seeing him like this.
I know. You can step out while I do the healing process again. I know it's painful to watch, but it's up to you.
No, I'll stay for this one.
DeVille immediately goes into the process that he's been carrying out over the past few days. Radiant light pouring from his hands over the chest of Renair, who, as soon as that healing hits, you can see the veins where they light up yellow. There's this...
I take his hand.
His hand grips back as he's... Before settling, his teeth unclenching, Phil looking and saying, "You'll be alright. It's just a few more days."
Do you know anyone in Lunastra? Or are we just gonna have to search?
It's been a long time since I visited that city, but I might have a friend in one of the temples towards the center of the city. That's who we should try and see. It's difficult because, well, it's quite a lot to be healed in Lunastra, but I might be able to pull in some favors before I go.
Thank you.
Of course. DeVille steps back out of the tent and then promptly circles around back to Adjnor's tent and then just dives into bed. He says, as he falls back asleep, just I'm asleep immediately. Ladara, the rest of your watch is yours. Anyone who else is awake can converse, talk about the coming days. But it's up to you.
I think Azrim would probably also come back to sleep.
I think Vincent would stay up just a little bit longer.
You kind of have to tangle with exhaustion because there's the exhaustion of being awake all day with the wagon, and also staying awake at night, not being able to sleep with Renair in this state. It's tough. You yourself as well, Ladara. There are some heavier thoughts that have been weighing recently since a conversation that you had before leaving Wheldon. There are a number of days before you reach the city, and then a number of weeks before you can see yourself heading to the town that she told you about. But these watches have been at least a place where you can deal with not being able to sleep. Aona prepares himself before he says, "I was gonna head back up into the tree, but are you alright?"
Oh, yeah, I'm alright. Just thinking about things, but it's fine. It's not terrible.
Well, just, I've noticed that during training, you're not fully there. I don't mean to cry or anything like that, but just know that he struggles with his words for a second. If you want to fight, to take your mind off of it, I'm here to do that.
Oh, thank you. That's not necessary. Right now, no. It's frustrating having to wait, I guess. I'm just tired of waiting. And it's very frustrating. Because I know that I need to be patient. But it's just... I just want to see her. And I finally have a lead, but I know that I'm not just gonna go. I can't just leave everyone. So I wait.
Alan, it takes a moment. If we're looking and saying, I understand. It is frustrating. But after traveling with you all for a few weeks, I know that they're willing to be by your side through this. So perhaps you won't have to wait so long.
Hopefully. But it's alright. Nothing to worry about.
You can be honest. There is a lot of worry on your face. It's contorting in ways that seem painful.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay.
Are you okay? How are you doing?
It's a difficult question. I knocked 3 people out about 10 minutes ago.
You did.
So I relieved some stress.
Nice.
And it's kind of nice up in the tree. So I'm not sure how to really answer the question. So in this moment, sure. Okay is a good state of mind.
Okay.
In general, no.
Okay. Why is that?
I don't know if we have time to go into it.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Another time.
Yeah, for sure. I will say I do also like being up in the trees.
Do you want to go up in the tree?
Oh, I mean, no. It's,
I can sit on the ground. You can be in the tree.
No, it's over. I was just saying I can relate to your feeling of wanting to.
Understood.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, when I was younger, I used to go up there a lot. So hang out there.
It's very nice. Very freeing.
Yes, you can.
I'm thinking of heading back up there now.
Yeah, go for it. Mm-hmm. I'll be here.
But I don't want to hog the tree, so...
It's okay. It's all right. There's many trees.
So there are.
So if I wanted to, I could just pick a tree. So just go.
You're absolutely right. I'm going. Going up the tree.
Go.
Going.
Go.
Almost there.
I see it.
Pound is back of the tree. And another night of travel passes. So, you all have been traveling the northeastern road out of Wheldon for quite some time, noticing that there really aren't a lot of people passing you to go to Wheldon right now, which you may be able to understand the reason as to why. So, just to quickly summarize what your travel has looked like, you've been spending the night on the sides of the road, camped, usually somewhat obscured by the forest, in tents, sometimes in the wagon itself when it's raining. But your friends, when you split off in Wheldon, they left you with a wagon and horses to carry all 6 of you all the way to your next destination, making your way across the nations and past the borders, away from the crown city of Shield and away from on Syrian principles, back into the Painted Valley.
Hate on scene.
Hate on Seer.
Fuck them.
The most you've had to deal with is bandits on this road, here and there. The occasional beast that seems to come out of the forest and give you all some trouble. But whereas at the beginning of travel, Renair was better, able to still keep up, still his jovial self, and this latter half, his status has degraded.
No.
As a poison that has also affected Auda and Azram, but doesn't seem to be taking the same amount of hold, is taking hold on Renair.
No. He's getting worse.
But at the driver's seat, we've got DeVille, usually at the front, Vincent usually at the back. Azram, you can sit next to DeVille if you would like, over at the front as well. Auda usually hangs off the back of the cart, just kind of sitting with his leg dangling.
Like a monkey.
Like a monkey.
A monkey who likes to climb trees and hang off
Climb
little carts.
So that would leave Vincent, Ladara, and Renair in the wagon. Traveling, this same dirt road, the same pine forest, the air getting colder despite the summer months coming.
Cold, you say?
It's a little chilly up here still. We're getting pretty high. We're getting pretty north in the nations. Though, the northeastern road out of Wheldon is long and arduous. Eventually, the first sign of civilization comes to you after a few days of travel. Patrolling guards on horseback. And with recent events, there's a bit of tension in seeing guards. However, they greet you with a smile and a nod. They're adorned in this kind of pale, shining armor, complemented with these flowing, sort of off-white silks that they ride past with. They are armed with these gleaming silver swords, and some of them with heavy mechanized crossbows. But as you pass each of them, they are jovial. They are somewhat pleasant to interact with as they even point out to say,
Sus.
"Oh,
I don't trust that.
hail travelers." Just slight nods. You all stiffen up as you're just like,
We're all like giving side eye, like, hello.
okay then.
No words. Just
Further.
glares.
And further down. Eventually, however, your road converges with a much larger road with travelers on it, all heading in the same direction as you. Merchant carts and shipping operations all making their way to the same city as you all. They probably feel the same relief when, after a day or more of travel, you all see the walls towering quite high, reminiscent of major cities that you may have seen before, and a gate well guarded by those same patrolmen. Basically, there is a gatehouse in front of you with this wrought iron gate of a crescent moon symbol that is on the edge of this towering, aging wall with this sort of moss and vines that fall down it as you approach. You join the line of carts, all making their way through this checkpoint until eventually you are brought to the front, and a guard comes up with a small clipboard and a pen and says, hail, where are you coming from?
Azram's in front.
Azram's in the front.
Azram looks over his shoulder for a second and is like, where are we? Wheldon.
He's writing before he just got. Wheldon. I had heard that Wheldon was in not a very good state recently. Did you leave quite
recently, or?
Oh, yeah,
We we never actually entered Wheldon. We passed by it. In reality, we're from Siniath.
Good answer.
Why are we not just saying that we're escaping from Wheldon, you know?
Oh.
I say quietly so he doesn't hear.
we're gonna go for that whole like ball thing because we're like really important.
Oh my god.
And you know that like really big ball that like they were doing with all the rich people. We were gonna go to that. But we got a flat tire on the way. So we like totally missed it, unfortunately. And so
Tires don't have air.
much information that we didn't need.
It's just for the form. Just writing it. I'll just write down Cinia. And I don't really know what ball you're talking about, but I'll just write that down for now. What is your purpose in the city?
Just say traveling.
We're just traveling, sightseeing.
Oh, okay. Fantastic. Perfect. Good answer there. Intended duration of stay?
That's a question.
1 day to like a week. I don't know.
Maybe
1 day to 4
well,
months.
it just depends. You can see we're you could say we're like free spirits.
Oh my god.
So maybe like a day or two, or maybe a week or two, or maybe
I'm gonna write undetermined. I'm just gonna. That is also an answer.
Oh,
Just
you didn't propose that as an option.
No, I mean I didn't, but maybe that's on me. That's on me. You're right. You're so right.
Puts it on the feedback survey.
Jots it down at the bottom.
Next time, be more clear.
Okay. So simple one. Do you plan to visit the Temple of the Mother during your stay, or any Lunastra temple?
Yeah, we're sightseeing. We're sightseeing.
Perfect. And what nation are you associated with?
What? Starlight sovereignty?
Starlight sovereignty. Okay, fantastic. That tracks with the Siniath answer. Perfect. Okay, good. Painless. Why don't you just let them through? Go ahead, let them through.
I love the idea that that Azram actually just like failed geometry or geography. Geography. I failed geometry personally.
Ezra's like, I don't know where we are.
Yeah, he's like, I don't know where Siniath is located in.
He's also a little chilly. He has the sheet wrapped around him.
Yeah, it's the same one.
Yes.
Nice.
As you are heading through, he kind of walks with you a bit and says, okay, just a couple things. If you're going to be taking your wagon with you into the city, then you can take the cartway down the side of down the side, or you can just leave your wagon parked up around the edge. So it's up to you, but just make that decision quickly and don't go down the stairs if you're still in your wagon, please.
Do we have anything valuable in the wagon that we can't carry with us?
I don't think so.
It's mostly just traveling supplies are in the wagon. A lot of your
Okay.
traveling supplies, but I feel like you could carry that with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just
Park it and walk.
I tell Davila, park it.
Park the car.
Yes, sir. As he's pulled through the gate. The face that I then just made. This gate. Well, actually, that doesn't really make sense. How did the other people get there? Never mind. The gate doesn't just swing open for you specifically, but the guards get out of your way as you move forward further and further. And there's still a bit of distance between the wall and the city. You can't really see the city beyond this gate, not until you start realizing that you're looking the wrong direction. As you pull closer and closer to where people seem to be parking their wagons and setting up in this massive area, where there seems to be people who stable the horses and get everything done, you get that business settled, you see
first hints of a city, or I should say, you hear the first hints of a city. The first thing you hear are the sounds of civilization. People and wagons all moving in unison, making their way in this controlled chaos of city life. Something you haven't heard since, honestly, Cineath. Wheldon was a major town. It was big, but it was nothing like Cineath. Nothing like the varied amounts of people and experiences all packed into this one place. You realize as you go on foot from the place where you park your wagon that you are approaching this city. Instead of looking forward, you need to look down. You hear the gasps of the people around you as they cross a certain threshold. Finally, you can see just what they're looking at. Past the edge where the land seems to drop off. The city is not built on flat ground. It's built below. To what looks to be a crater. A massive city bathed in the multicolored hues of fractured light filtered through stained glass. A central temple that stretches towards the sky, the first thing that you can see. The city itself is ringed and springing to life in a sloping bowl shape. A slope that wraps around the city, all centering eventually at that temple. And the city itself is divided into 4 quarters, 2 of them further subdivided, which is visible even from here as the glow from the center divides the city by the color of the light. Very pastel colors that radiate outward, embracing the buildings of the different districts, and on the pale stonework, it's as if each building has been hand-painted. From the edges of the crater, you stand able to look over her glory in its entirety. A city tightly packed that rivals the beauty and scope of even the crown of Western Afra and the sovereignty. The Moonlit city of Lunastra.
Hey there, it's Christian coming at you live with The Break. This is the part of the show where I take some time to make some announcements, and for the first time, it's not happening at 2 a.m. after I edit the music into the episode. So all the hinges are on. Everything is good to go. First of all, thank you for joining us for the newest episode of the new arc of SoftPod. I'm super excited for where the story's going to go, and I'm super excited for everyone to finally see this city that I have been working on. But that's not all I'm excited about. With the return of SoftPod, that also means the return of SoftPod and Dungeon Depths giveaways. That's right, Dungeon Depths is the sponsor of this show. They make quality gaming supplies with character, and you can check out their store at shopdungeondepths.com using the code SOFTPOD at checkout to get 10% off of your order. And Olivia of Dungeon Depths has put something together truly special to celebrate the end of hiatus and the beginning of the new arc. Right now you can check our social media to see how you can enter to win a hand-poured resin dice tray with the metallic golden sunburst emblem, also in the color gradient of the newest arc. They do amazing work, so go check them out right now. Go check out the social media to see how you can enter to win, and we will be announcing the winner next episode. Thank you so much, Dungeon Depths. We are so excited to be working with you again, and thank you for this amazing giveaway. Hey, I'd like to take a moment to also thank our patrons who make this show possible and sustainable. If you don't already know, we have a Patreon that you can check out in the link tree below. We post bonus content to that Patreon. I have a couple things in mind that I want to get working on. And at the $10 tier, I give out a shout out in the break in one of these little blocks. This is just one block of patrons, but I change up the block every week. So thank you to Cherry, Rowan, Elliot, Katie, and Neerja. Thank you so much for supporting us on Patreon. Thank you so much for just supporting us in the soft chord and supporting us in general. It really means a lot to us. I want to take this opportunity in the break to remind people of a lot of different things that I haven't been able to talk about recently. The first is hashtag SoftPod. Yes, it's not just a code to use at Dungeon Depths, it's also our hashtag on Instagram. I look at that hashtag pretty much every day, and I use the names of people that have tweeted about the show, and I use them as characters or places in the show. I take their names, I steal them. I steal names. In all seriousness, I love using fan names in the show. It makes things just a little more fun, a little more interesting, just thinking that a fan is going to hear their name and be like, oh my gosh, am I the villain of this arc? So if you'd like your name in SoftPod, then go ahead and tweet using hashtag SoftPod. That's SOFPOD. And I'd like to add an extra little request. If you'd like to, please just have a name that you would like to be called by. And then if you're comfortable, perhaps listing your pronouns, I'd like to give characters basically the same pronouns as the people that their names come from. That's not all, though. Hashtag SoftPod is also where we pull all the fan art from with the artist's permission. So if you make amazing fan art of SoftPod, then please tweet about it using hashtag SoftPod so that we can see it. All of this amazing fan art that you're looking at now in this art reel, all of this comes from hashtag SoftPod. So thank you for tweeting about the show. Really means a lot. Just some quick credits that I don't usually get to give in the break. All of our music comes from Epidemic Sound. They're basically this huge music library that I have a license for to use for SoftPod, and all of our soundscapes come from Michael Gelfi that you can see credited in a document in the description. You can check out his YouTube channel and Patreon from that document. I'm also working on compiling a list of the different tracks that we use for Epidemic Sound. That way people can find the tracks that they like in the show and they can go check them out on that website. Also, shout out to the Softchord. Hi, Softchord. It's where we host our live chat every Friday at 5 p.m. If you don't already know about it, you can go ahead and check it out using the link in the description. And you can join the Softchord, converse with all the amazing people there, talk about D&D, talk about your OCs, talk about a lot of amazing stuff. There is a lot to this very wonderful community. Thank you so much also to the mods of that community. You do an amazing job of curating it and making it just an amazing place to be. Anyways, that's all from me. Please enjoy the show. Bye. You stand at the edge of this crater. Not the very edge, of course, but just kind of close enough to where you can finally see the city in its entirety. Originally, you could see perhaps this tower that seems to thin out coming from the central temple that stretches above the crater's edge itself. But as some people, their first time being here, there are plenty of people at the edge with you that are just in awe of the sight in front of them. Javille speaks up and says,
So, has anyone here been to this city before?
No.
Not that I can remember.
I don't think so.
Well, then savor this sight. We'll take some time to appreciate it. As
Our tour guide here.
eventually, yeah, he's got like, he definitely would have like the itinerary and then the little like stick that he holds up. Yeah, the flag that he holds up. He's got matching t-shirts
We've got
for
matching
everyone.
backpacks.
Yeah.
The leash.
A leash.
Just one.
Ooh.
I'm
You can't
so
say
sorry.
anything about them.
No.
You can see that there is an entrance where you can see wagons making their way down a winding, sort of sloping path, and then also an entrance that people seem to be making their way towards to walk down into the city. Is sort of diagonal staircase. And then lastly, you see, make a perception check, everyone, just to see if you can understand and see what you're seeing here.
21.
20.
5.
Freaking at the
Back
good
at it
rolls,
again.
huh?
Welcome back, folks.
Season 2, same rules.
Same exact.
Okay. You see a peculiar sight that some people, a lot of people seem to be making their way towards alongside just the stairs. Some people just elect to choose the stairs. But there are plenty of people that also, you see, lined up at the edge of the crater in this kind of stable of this pale wood, all locked up. You see what look to be giant snails with highly decorated shells. Just these, it's like gems that are in, like these intricate paintings and gems that are inlaid into the shells themselves, as well as what looks to be like saddled seat, like not just saddled seating, but like comfortable seating there.
Rideable
with
snail?
Big snails.
big snails. You can see that at the top there, it says Salinkari for rent, basically.
I'm sorry.
Salinkari.
Azram would be like, Mr. Starsong, Mr. Tour Guide, sir.
Oh, yes.
Is that a snail?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Forgot to mention that part. Well, you see, getting around Lunastro is kind of difficult because it's so well built into the cliffside, and, well, they've been getting around that with, elevators and things like that to bring people. But the traditional way of travel in which people used to get around the city is with the Salinkari. They're snails, basically. Passenger snails. A driver, basically, or if you have a license yourself, then you can drive them, will basically ferry you around the city, allowing you to quickly crawl down the walls or to wherever you need to go with minimal, exertion.
But
They're
does
free for those that, don't have as much mobility access around the city. But for travelers, you can also take them.
Does it hurt the snails, though?
No, actually, from what I've heard, the training process it's quite natural to them to just move around. Plus, they're well fed. I'm not a Salinkari expert. Well, he says as he kind of reaches into his bag, and he pulls out and just kind of blows the dust off of a small, like a small piece of paper. He says, "Though I am a bit certified."
Oh my god, he's
Drive
got
one?
his snail license.
Here, now I can put this song on.
Oh my god. Vincent's mouth is hanging open.
Kingdom Hearts?
Yep, Traverse Town.
Kingdom Hearts?
I have to show you what I thought later.
So,
It's like, I've never seen a snail that big.
they're huge. Like, they are like the size of like a small car, basically.
Oh my god. Are they in
and
different colors?
They are different colors.
Is there a pink one?
I mean, there's colors of all types in terms of the
Wow.
snails, just in case of like the body type. They don't look like just regular snails. They're a little cute in a way.
Oh my god.
But their shells are decorated in these nice ways, the kind of non-invasive ways, and the seats on top are also like well cushioned. And
I want to ride a pink snail.
so if we wanted to rent one, I mean, well, we've got 6 of us, as he's counting. Auda is currently carrying Renair on his back.
Oh, Renair.
Yeah, 6 of us? Yeah.
Is he unconscious? Is he okay?
Just the bros being bros.
He's okay. He's probably like unconscious right now, but he slips in and
man.
out, basically.
Okay.
He's not in a terrible state. He's not in a good state.
Okay.
First priority should be getting somewhere to sleep for the night. So why don't I rent us large size,
An XL.
Yeah, that
a
sounds
6-seater,
Cedar.
a snail utility vehicle, if you would. A Salankari
An SUV.
utility
Snail
vehicle.
Snail sous vide.
Snail sous vide.
Oh man, that's funny.
He makes his way up and begins to speak with a man who's got this kind of like bald on top, like hair slicked back to here, like puffy mustache, who's kind of looking and saying, "Oh, all right. So, what's you selling car? You're new here, tourist."
Yeah.
Yes.
I've never ridden one of these things.
That's no problem. I'm Sal the Salankari guy. I'm your person for all your snail needs.
Suits the name.
It's. Let me actually roll something really quickly. There are plenty of tourists here that are all renting Salankari. There's plenty of drivers who are just like in the back room before Sal has to like ring a bell, and one of them just gets out. They're in like the bellhop uniforms almost that are a little bit disheveled. But DeVille steps forward and says, "I don't think a driver will be necessary. I've got a license."
He's so proud of that license.
So hot.
Snail license.
What a random thing to have.
And
Loser.
as DeVille walks forward, Sal says, "Son of a bitch, DeVille Star Song, is that you?" And DeVille says, "Sal, it's good to see you." And
my
they
God.
kind of lock arms in this bro handshake.
Oh no.
And he says,
Oh my god.
how are the kids? How's everything doing? And he says, "The kids are good, you know. They're all grown up now. They're soon enough they're gonna be driving snails up and down this damn city. So it's good to hear. Wow, it's been quite a long time. Yeah, I'm just here on business, just for a little bit, and to show these newcomers around town." He says, "Oh well, that's the case. Then I can give you a discounted rate then.
Oh, that's very
Thanks.
kind. Thank you.
Any questions about the Salankari before we continue?
Yeah, actually a lot. I have quite a few questions.
Go for it. Shoot, I'm an expert.
Okay, how long are we gonna have a Salankari for?
You will.
Days? However long we're here? What?
I was planning to rent it for the entirety of our stay. That means that I'll pay a flat fee, and then
I have no idea how to take care of one of these.
Do they have names?
Can
Hey.
we name them?
I mean, you could call them by names. Yeah,
Do you have a blue one?
Yeah, we got a blue one. Well, we got ones
What do they eat? When do they sleep? I don't. Do they need to be pet? I don't know.
Oh,
I think that's why DeVille has a license.
Yeah. Usually, you'd have a driver that would look after them while you're in the city. But your buddy here, he's got a license, which means that he is fully trained in the care of Salankari. Isn't that right,
Okay.
DeVille? Yes, I don't like to brag about it, but I did spend a lot of time getting this license. I'm very proud of it. So please leave it to me.
Okay. All right.
But yes, they you can pet them. Just right on the head between the eye stalks, right there. Yeah, that's the best place to pet them.
Are they slimy?
I mean, the undersides of the slimiest part. There's a little bit of residual slime that just comes from being a snail, just existing. But in reality,
Am I a snail?
It's got a residual.
in reality,
slime.
it's a pleasant slime. The pleasant
Yeah?
slime's on
Is
top,
it?
the unpleasant slime's on the bottom. You don't want to touch the
I don't think I've ever experienced a slime that was pleasant.
Oh,
so-
well, come on over here. Let's go pick out your Salankari, and you're about to have the most pleasant slime of your life. He takes you down rows and rows of these large snails until bringing you to a blue snail with blue body. The eyes they're like eye stalks, and they've got like these little beady, cute eyes, but they're still a snail, so it's kind of weird just seeing them. But it kind of wiggles a bit as you get close to it. He says, "Okay, to be honest, everyone calls the Salankari different things in terms of names, so whatever you start calling it, it picks up real quick. So feel free to name whichever we want. We try not to, we just go by the color. So we're gonna go with polka dots over here because it's got a white shell with these little cute blue polka dots all over it. And you can see that in the polka dots there are just little like smiley faces, like little angry faces that are drawn into them.
That's so cute.
So it helps the people, get a little bit more attached to them if they're allowed to name it, and the Salankari are pretty good about taking on names, so it's up to you.
Okay, we'll get on that.
Yeah, 6-seater, perfect for you, honestly. Good mileage.
You're gonna
have to gas it
You're gonna
up.
fit so many people in this, and you slap it on the shell.
As always, with the self-driving package, I'll be including all the food that you need for it for your stay, and you can always go to a refueling station to get more food for it in the city.
Can you talk to it?
I mean, it's not going to talk back, but if it makes you feel better, you can surely
tried?
say whatever you want to it.
Have you tried asking what it feels? Just wondering.
No.
That's not accusatory. I really
Okay,
wanna know.
good. It came off with the energy of
no.
like maybe I hadn't thought of this,
no.
but maybe I will talk to it. I sometimes when I have to get something off my chest, I come out here and I converse with the Salankari, but it makes me look like a nutcase. So, mostly I just come out here to get a feel for that pleasant slime.
Azurum is already feeling the slime. You look over and Azurum's got like his head to the snail's head.
Okay, so it definitely is slimy, but it's kind of like instead of like
actually
like the
pleasant?
bottom is like actual slime
guy wasn't a
secretions,
freak?
but like the top that you can feel, it's kind of like
Fun?
Oh my!
like ASMR slime, just a little bit like
Have you ever pet a baby stingray?
yes,
Yeah.
it's
that
like a
a
pleasant feeling. There's like a little bit of slime that's residual. It's not too much, but not too little.
Okay. Okay.
It's
stingray is
it's
a
kind of
bit,
a pleasant feeling, at least. There you go. Getting acquainted. Look, they like you. Very nice.
What can I say?
They're natural. Okay, so a couple rules. Keep yourself buckled up when you're vertical at the beginning of your descent. Anytime you're vertical, just keep yourself buckled up. There's a speed limit on these here. I know that it's tempting to want to go,
How fast can they
speed
go?
demon with it.
It's a snail.
You may not think that these snails can go fast, but they will tear your head off with the force that they produce from the speed.
Okay.
I can see you're underestimating it right now.
I am.
Don't do it. I've lost so many drivers that way.
It's okay. I think I
Go at a
trust
normal speed.
Deville, you hear that? Normal speed.
Normal speed. Normal speed. Okay. Fine.
I'm so
Hops to the driver's
curious
seat.
as to how fast they go now.
We'll try it out one day.
Otherwise,
We'll have to-
We'll have
your
to try
boy
it out.
here, he already knows. He already knows how to do everything with a snail and everything like that. If you take it out on your own without him, or you take the driver's wheel, just don't tell me about it. Okay? Just
Heard.
if you take the reins, I don't want to know. Just make sure it comes back without a chip in the shell. Okay? Or and alive, of course.
Of course. We'll take care of them.
I hope the snail makes it out alive.
All right. Sal, it's been amazing to see you. You too. Hey, let's get drinks sometime if you have time in the city. It's like, I won't, but it was still fun. So, what the hell? All right. As you all, he opens the gate and he's got like two wands there. They're just lighting up like airline, traffic controllers. That's just kind of back you up as the snail. Deville takes the reins and is surprisingly smooth as the snail begins to out of this area over to the edge they lead you
I'm
to
I'm so sorry. I'm imagining a snail with a big round shell.
big round.
Are we just like on like are the people in the back trying to hold on, or like the seats like accommodating to like
sort of
keep
on the top, kind of like how you see on like elephants. There's like
camels?
Okay.
Yeah, or like on camels. There's like a seat sort of situation, and this snail is pretty big. At first, you're worried like, oh, can these seats support people? But like this snail doesn't seem to care.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like.
I'm just fascinated by these snails.
But eventually leading you to the edge, to where there seems to be like a two-laned dedicated dropping point,
Snail lane.
like a roller coaster. At the edge, you see DeVille driving it, as you can see just a sheer drop that eventually curves off into the rest of the city.
God. I'm taking Renair and put him towards.
Renair is like super like chapped up, and it's just like
hold on to this guy.
Actually, Renair starts blinking. He's like, as he's looking down and seeing the snail beginning to tip.
It's fine. It's fine. I just don't look down. We're on a snail. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Azra is in the front, like
DeVille
leaning off the edge, like, oh my god, this is so cool.
Oh my god,
afraid
this
of heights.
This is terrifying.
You see DeVille with the reins in his hands. You see him, like there are runes that have seemed to alight on his hands that you've never seen before. That quickly, he does like a motion on the reins, and one of them alights, and he says, "Don't go too fast." As you slide down, and Sal wasn't fucking kidding. These snails slide down this ramp,
Screaming
as you
all the
are
way down.
screaming, flying down this ramp past the buildings until eventually you are basically just horizontal, like straight vertical going down, and passing these beautiful sights before eventually just coming to this abrupt stop. At the end, DeVille's hair just like blown back. Renair is just holding on to Vincent.
Vincent's got his
shaking.
head like
Lidara's
in
gripping the
his arms,
sides.
like, not looking.
Like, so her knuckles are like white, and she's like, oh my god.
Azram like stood up.
Hands up.
You have gone from like the top of this area to like the first stopping point, and it's like probably like 20 stories of just straight sliding.
Jesus.
And you hear like an echo from the top saying, "I told you not to fucking do that." But eventually you reach these large lanes which the snails seem to really populate and take up a lot of. You see snails that are a lot more customized that people seem to have, a lot of drivers taking people around in these, as well as just the sounds of a busy city. People in wagons, there are no horses in this city per se either. At least not as many as Siniath, for instance. You see the occasional one. It has to share a lane with a snail every now and then, but people seem to like to pull their carts by hand. The architecture of this place is beautiful, pale stonework. These buildings that are very geometric, but then not very symmetrical, if that makes sense. They're tightly packed. They're stacked on top of each other. There's a lot of stairs in this place that basically have these buildings that are all lined up. There's like a lot of white, off-white, pale buildings, all stacked up in this tight, narrow, like alleyways and streets, except for where the snails can go. This system of transportation around.
What's the flora and fauna? Like, are there a lot of trees?
Interestingly enough, there are trees, but they're unlike any you've ever seen before. They grow in interesting shapes and patterns. The leaves themselves are kind of iridescent in a way, as well as the flowers themselves are beautiful. They're these very light shades, these pastel shades that seem to grow, and there are some arranged in planters. The city itself in some places seems almost like it's well taken care of in terms of like gardens and that sort of thing. But as soon as you are in the city itself, you would drop firstly into a district that is bathed in blue shades of light. Just this light tinge of blue that's in the air. And as soon as it hits you, despite the initial panic of being dropped on a snail at 100 miles an hour or whatever,
Jesus.
you feel calm in that blue light. DeVille sits back. He says, okay, let's get ourselves to an inn first. We're going to have to move over to the, let's see, I guess the Harvest District. That's where most of the good inns are. But I'm going to try and get us closer to the center of town so we can get a good view of the temple.
Please, for the love of God, just go a little bit slower.
Okay, fine. I will drive us safely. Rainier's passed out again, just fully. As Auda is just, hair blown back, is just blinking at the beautiful sight of the buildings around. You take your snail through the streets all the way to a building that is adorned in these blue and gold sort of fabrics and decorations, called the Sleepy Sheep.
Oh, Sleepy Sheep. Stop. I'm gonna... This city's so cute.
But your journey through Lunastra, the sounds of crowds and the chaos of a city, but peaceful, calming.
Finally.
It's like the romanticized view of a city. Just people on their way to where they're going to go, but everyone is cheery. And the smells of the city, I mean, you'd think with all the snails it wouldn't be the best. Just the smell of freshly baked bread wafting around every corner. But as you park your Salankari, DeVille takes a handful of these sort of bluish iridescent pellets from a bag and then just kind of lets the snail just kind of on his hand and eat them. He's like, yep, just as I remember it. This is the unpleasant slime. Okay. As he removes and shakes it off, says, so, what do you think?
This city's amazing.
I have never been anywhere like this. Oh my god.
I think we should go back up at the top and come back down one more time.
That sounds like a whole thing.
I think I need to get it. No, I
Right.
need to find a bed.
Where we drop him?
Yes, I have a friend that owns this inn, so we can get ourselves some good rooms and, get everything situated.
DeVille, you got any enemies here? I know you seem like you got a lot of friends.
Oh, you're serious?
No,
yeah, I mean, well, who doesn't have enemies in cities like this,
That makes me nervous. Okay.
No, I mean, I haven't been here for a while. I mean, that's not like, I don't think they recognize me at this point. It's been years.
Uh-huh.
We'll see, I guess.
We'll see what that we'll see how that works out.
How many years? How many years has it
It
been?
must have been at least a decade at this point. Long time.
Forgot that you're
old.
Never mind.
Okay, I mean, old isn't correct. You'll be up at my age and
Okay, well, I'm not.
at some point.
Okay.
But you will. So,
That's when
sorry.
we're dating our grandpa.
So we should get some rooms and maybe settle in. And if you want to go have fun, Azra, maybe just wait until after we check in.
Okay, fine.
I need to get Rainier to a bed.
As you pull Rainier with Auda's help out from the back of Salankari, his breathing's ragged a bit, for several reasons now. But ahead of you all, it's a whole new city, whole new possibilities, and a lot to uncover. That's where we'll end.